The Parliament terror attack has spread fear across the UK and has people in America wondering, can it happen here? I'm Tim Black for TBTV. 5 people, including a London police officer, who was stabbed, and the alleged assailant were killed in a terror attack that saw more than 40 people injured outside of Parliament building on Wednesday in an act described as sick and depraved by the British Prime Minister Theresa May. Acting Metropolitan Police Deputy Commissioner and head of counterterrorism Mark Rowley said there was only one attacker who authorities believe was inspired by international terrorism. Flags are at half-mast over Scotland Yard tonight to mark the death of an officer and other victims of the afternoon's attack. Raleigh said 3 civilians were among those killed. He identified the officer killed in the attack as 48-year-old Keith Palmer. My condolences to Keith Palmer's friends, wife, fellow officers, and those that knew him. One of those who died was a police officer from our Parliamentary and Diplomatic Protection Command who had 15 years of service, he said. Raleigh said it was too early to publicly release the name of the suspect in the attack, but I think that's changed at this point. Police said a vehicle mowed down pedestrians on London's Westminster Bridge, leaving more than a dozen with injuries. Some of those injuries have been described as catastrophic. Raleigh said the car then crashed near the Parliament and one man armed with a knife continued the attack and tried to enter Parliament. The knife-wielding attacker stabbed a police officer and was shot on the grounds outside Britain's Parliament, sending the compound into lockdown for hours. The threat level for international terrorism in the UK was already listed severe and will remain so, according to Theresa May, Prime Minister. The attack came on the 1-year anniversary of the terror attacks in Brussels, in which 32 people were killed and more than 300 people were injured. For your information, recent vehicular terror attacks. Jerusalem, Israel, January 18th, 2017. Berlin, Germany, 12/19, 2016. Ohio State, 11/28, 2016. Nice, France, 7/14, 2016. This brings directly to the doorsteps of many people in the UK the threat of Islamic terrorism, radical Islamic terrorism. Whether this man is a lone wolf or not, this man's actions have Brussels frightened, have the UK frightened, has the US frightened. But we can't react based on just fear. We have to react based on what we know, intelligence, what we glean from this. Are there more terror cells? Is this man working with someone else? These are all great questions. I just wonder if the information about this attack will be spread the way it should be. See, I believe you got to combat terrorism. There's got to be a way to do this where we face the enemy, face the issue, without stigmatizing an entire religion or an entire group of people. But I definitely want to stigmatize terrorists. Obviously, I have no qualms with that. But when we try to divide our attention, we try to make sure we're, guys, this is a hard story to do, because I understand and I sympathize with people who are Muslims, who don't want to be painted in this light, but I have to report it and I have to call it like I see it. These scumbags that do these types of activities, we have to do more than just get them, because if we don't get the people that work with them or the people that inspire them or the people that motivate and that initiate these actions, then what are we doing? We can't just run around getting people after they've killed millions of people or thousands of people or hundreds of people. When will it stop? It won't stop on its own. Now, it's nice and tidy for me to say if we just stop meddling in the Middle East, they'll leave us alone. I think it's too far gone for that. So I want to hear your suggestions. Maybe you got ideas. My idea is we go after them with as much as we possibly can. We find them where they are, and we take them in or we take them out. Yeah, we would like to do a kumbaya moment, but you can't do kumbaya moments with people who indiscriminately run up on sidewalks in vehicles, killing anyone they see. Try to kumbaya that if you want to. My name is Tim Black. I'm going to keep it real with you. There's going to be more of this. There will be a lot more of this. Now, that may hurt your delicate ears, but it's the truth. So what would you have us do? I'm going to do a story later about electronics ban on certain airports coming from certain majority Muslim countries. And I know I'm going to get pushback for it, but you know what? It's the reality. We have to deal with it. We have to address these issues. Follow me on social media. Let your voice be heard. Here we speak out. Here we do not mince words. Here's the truth. Hashtag stay strong, stand tall, and keep spreading the word. I'll see you on the next one.